Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Sorry about the delay, but we are back. But this time joined by Shifty himself here for the last Vegas Inferno Major 2 here, brought to you by Shinto Gaming. Shifty, you watched Game 1, you were in the background there listening. How do you think the Game 1 went so far on stream to kick us off on today's event?
It was good. You know, I mean, you kind of hate to see a 3-0 start for the day. That kind of, that's sort of unfortunate. But big shout out to Outbreak for bringing their big hammer, their boomstick, for the first one over in the what is now the late morning / early afternoon over in Vegas. So good for them to start off hot. They obviously will move in to winners round 3 and play the winner of Anomaly and California Girls. And we have Shinto dropping down into the losers to play Endeavor. That is not who we are going to be seeing right now, though. We have Omnia and Vault 9. One team I did get to see last night in Omnia in their matchup against California Girls. And they've got some, not only some shooters, but they've also got some fans in the chat. So they'll want to come out and represent here today.
I seen you had a few fans in the chat as well early when the stream kicked off as well, Shifty. There were people like, "Where's Shifty? Where's the caster?" See, you've got fans just as well as these teams have got fans. So good to see you on the mic. Good to have you on the mic as well. And yeah, I seen a couple of the games from yesterday as well. And Vault 9 did look like they were a decent side as well. I didn't think they were going to be in a losers run, but I mean, it's just the way it came out in the bracket. It might be a difficult task for them, but their team might be another difficult one. But obviously at this point in time, in the losers round, it's all or nothing, right? You're either going on and advancing and keeping the losers streak going, or you're down and you're out after one game here in this one. This is going to be the unfortunate side of things for you, but it's going to be an interesting game. We've got obviously a best of 5 coming up. We've got our maps and our modes as well. So we're going to be watching couple of scars, but it's going to be Scar, Exposure, Scar to kick us off in the first 3 maps, and then we're going to see a Black Cat and Raid, but we're already kicked off into the action here. We're into Scar, and we've got Vault 9 up against Omnia. This is going to be interesting to see who is who on this kills, because they're both in pink, but on the screen they're going to be blue, and they're going to be red. So blue is Vault 9, and red is your team of Omnia, and Vault 9 getting off to the start on P1 early here.
Yeah, a nice early start. First kills we typically see some time traded. Teams are trying to attain some map presence. Scar, personally for me, one of my favorite maps in this rotation. That might be a hot take, but I like how balanced. And we may see some of that balance rear its teeth here in we got the screen. Going to take some time. 35 seconds left now, only 5 seconds before we rotate to B2. See some big kills here coming in as the squad that is going to be Omnia. They do have kind of chalking the back half of P1.
Yeah, P2, I feel like it's a really crucial one to get there early and get yourself set up inside this hotel. So there's enough vacancies, you make sure you set yourself up and get yourself ready. But you know what, they got there early, they were shut down pretty quickly afterwards. Vault 9 have managed to make the break on in. And they're set up here as well for P3 as well. So if they can get a good amount of time here, they're going to take a good 40 to 50 second lead going into that next hard point. A few kills going their way. Bestman's trying to take the route around the back, but he's not getting an opportunity as well there. And he is shut down. So yeah, not the start that Omnia really want here so far in P2. It is not looking good. 60 points is the difference. It's going to be by the time this ticker goes down if they don't win all these fights. But as well, they get the last bit 8 seconds. So they've closed the gap a little bit. But P3 is set up. Probably more likely here for Vault 9 to get in, but goes around the back, and that's Besmo on a 5 streak. Just shut it all down.
Yeah, Besmo again. Solid series. Their group play matchup. Trying to continue that streak. 11 and 4. Best KD in the lobby as we're seeing KJ down. Very openly exposed, and what we're seeing is early rotation. Got some ample slaying power to try and make a hold. They did get 30 seconds off of the pinstripe pinstripe kill feed now all red in favor of Omnia. They are going to attain the rest of this scrap time as we're going to see Vault chalk it, begin to rotate over towards P4.
Yeah, a very good comeback here from Omnia so far. They're going to close this to the 60-second margin if they do hold on to it. But you know what? Besmo decides to give up that and go and try and support the team for that new set of rotation inside. Fight is going to ensue here down the stairwell. KJ wins that fight. He's found 2 in a row. He knows they're spawning in the back. He'll find a third. He's looking for the 4th. He's there, but he's shut down by Cian. Lebrando, his teammate though, will get that trade, and it will be in control for Omnia on that hard point. And you know what? The lead change coming their way as well.
Yeah, it's a great start for them now, continuing to count some time in their favor. Started 35-0 in favor of Vault 9, and we've seen an absolute steamrolling from Omnia ever since on the back of triple positive from Besmal, and now edging into the positive from KJ. And look at how evenly dispersed the time is, too. We see not playing selfish. They're able to pop in around the hill, pick up important objective kills, and trade it off as a team. And now Vault 9, even after getting a couple slays, can't get in for the scrap time either. We've only seen them put together about 40 points here from the last 3 hard points, starting to be on a roll here.
Yep, definitely. You've got the issue though. Vault 9 already set up here for P5, but how quickly are their breaking skills here from Omnia, because they're close to that 100-point margin. And also, Vault 9 got a chance to do it here as well. And here you go, they're on the back. Besmo does his work, and he gets that spawns for the Omnia side to get the break within the first 10 seconds. And you're in control of the hard point here at P5, and you're looking to get mount on a bigger and bigger lead here. 20 points to gap here. Cian shuts down 1, but it's going to be traded back and forward as Kez finds 1. Lebrando finds 1 as well, and then Kez finds another double. All of a sudden, it is Omnia leading that kill feed.
Yeah, in a big way too. Really, if you're Vault 9, you need Terminated to step it up a little bit. Triple negative, but he's got plenty of time to try and turn this around, as I believe this will be the final hard point for this rotation before we go back to the middle. We're going to see a potential flip here. Vault 9 needing to try and get something going. Now that we're going to go back to middle, this was where they attained the first 35 seconds of the game, so I don't know if they've just got a killer setup around mid, or if they're really good at holding these angles, but it looks like Kez is going to slide right into a death wrap, trying to make it a 2-piece. He does shockingly kill Lebrando, and Sethi going to clean it up. That was a full wipe for the side of Vault 9, and man, they are some P1 stars here on Skull.
Yeah, this is it. This is exactly what they did to start off with. They held pretty much the majority of time on P1. They're looking to try and do that same again, and if they do, they will take that lead that Omnia just built up back to almost even, but it didn't last for long there as Kez does find Shea and Lebrando finds Sefi, and all of a sudden they have control of the full of mid-map here before Lebrando does get shut down with all the players respawning back in. Look at the route though that player number 4 did try to take there. Shea was trying to get around the back and take Omnia from surprise, but it's not going to be the case. P2, 7 more seconds. Omnia is still with a 40-point lead going into this one. P2, they need to try and build it here if you are Vault 9, because so far you are struggling to get yourself up.
Yeah, struggling indeed. As again, we saw an initial take from them, but it's been all Omnia all the time ever since then. KJ now the first player to eclipse that 20 kill mark, 22 and 15 is he. If my math is correct, he was 10 and 10 at one point, so double positive through the last 3 or so hard points. So Omnia really on a roll, as we're seeing again on your screen a pinstripe kill feed, trades flying back and forth over on this hotel side. This hard point kind of difficult to hold, right, because of how wide open it is. There's so many angles to watch as we're seeing KJ try to break in. Sethi going to be the defender there, and now Besmal and company trying to continue to break into this hard point. They have been able to, if you're Vault 9, take a little bit of time here towards the end of that P2, so not quite out of things yet, but we're seeing this P3 rotation, and once again, Vault 9 early on the rotations, but they haven't had the slaying numbers to keep up with it.
Yeah, this is it. You've got one player only left remaining on the new hardpoint time, but not gathered than any time at the moment because he's above that plane. They are going to eventually get there. Vault 9 are in control of it, but how much longer can they last? The slaying power that is Omnia have been making the breaks so straightforward, but not at this moment in time, not managing to find a way into P3 here so far, and the chance for Vault 9 to kind of build a little spray here, going from 3 You've got a long track to go towards 4 as well, and maybe player number 4, seeing has to start making a route around the back and trying to get control of P4, which could be one of the big money hills to get themselves back in this game. Because still, 30-point deficit. They've lost that scrap time. They've lost these last few battles. That's 4 dead in the feed as well. And Nado will stop it, looking like an absolute bloodfest here for Omnia. But they are in control of P4 and almost at that 200-point mark already.
Yeah, if you're Vault 9, I like that you were able to control as much time as you could in that P3, but maybe not putting enough emphasis on the rotation over towards P4. I think this is the first time throughout this hard point that we haven't seen them get the initial second or so as the hard point is popped, but just like that, Wrath and Terminated bringing it back a little bit now. 15 and 24 on a 3-kill streak is he. They've been able to break in and get some time here on this P4 hill, but now counter coming back in from Omnia. We've got trades flying in back and forth, but Vault the benefactors as of current. Now they've really kind of dwindled that lead down, or trying to, but KJ taking 2, Labrando making it 3, full control, back to P4 for Omnia.
Yeah, just when you think Vault 9 are starting to get a rhythm going, you see 4 dead, make that 5 dead almost in a row, and it is all of a sudden Vault 9 back to square one. Omnia getting past that 230 mark here with the remainder of the scrap time. If they hold on to it from here on out, that's going to be 20 points the difference. They're already set up for P5. They've got 1 on the hard point, and look at the position on the map. Nobody's getting mid-cut. Nobody's getting the back spawn. They only need 15 seconds. It is slowly but surely working the way of Omnia. Vault 9 barely get a chance to get forward in this map, and it looks like it will be closed out here. 7 more seconds, few more kills going the way of Omnia, and this will be game 1 wrapped up. Well and truly, Omnia's control 250 to, what was that, 175? Is it 165? Sorry, there we go. Close, but yeah, Vault 9 just couldn't keep things together for long enough in any given hardpoint, other than P1, which seems to be their stronger hardpoint here on Scar Shifty.
Yeah, it's a great job from Omnia, really coming out and setting the tone early, right? I mean, we know that especially with 2 Scars, right, you've now kind of set the tone. With that map 3, again, you get Scar once again, so hopefully if you're an Omnia fan, you'll see a very similar performance there. 22 untraded kills from KJ, 31 and 23 is he, leading the lobby in kills, leading the lobby in non-traded kills, so he's the MVP of map number 1. Being able to get those kills around the objective and play your life is so important for gaining map control, and he's a huge reason why Omnia was able to edge that out by 85 points if my math stands.
Yeah, definitely the edge is out a wee bit. We're going to go to a quick break, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into game number 2. Like we said, it will be Exposure, Search and Destroy up next, but a solid start here from Omnia. Right off the rips, they're going to need to see if they can keep that momentum going. Vault 9 maybe just started to get warm up near the end, but a little bit too late. Let's see what happens going into game number 2. So we had an 85-point difference with your maths being right, Shifty, right, in that hard point. We're going into a Search and Destroy Exposure. Do you fancy the Omnia are already warm? They're going to be getting up to a 2-0 start, or do you think the way that Vault 9 kind of got themselves back in the tail end of the hard point, they're going to have a chance in the Search and Destroy to turn things around?
You know, honestly, I kind of like Omnia for this. When I watched Omnia last night, they seemed to be pretty solid in Search and Destroy. Besmol specifically having a great S&D. I believe it was on Exposure actually last night when I was watching. So we'll see if that rings true once again. I think it will. So I am firmly in team Omnia on this one. I believe they're going to take it. But we'll see KJ on your screen. He's already taken the first blood. We'll send Terminated back to the respawn screen. Wrath going to take 1 for the side of Vault 9. Now stalemated at 3 apiece. KJ very wisely sliding out, and it looks like Vault 9's going to get aggressive over towards B here.
Yeah, I like this play from KJ, though. He realizes, right, I need to get back up. I need to get out of the way. I don't want to lose the first death with that scope in hand, especially after pulling off the first blood. But Raph does find Besmol, makes it a little bit favourable towards the Vault 9 side as they think too. Now, with the advantage to put that bomb down towards B, KJ is going to have to worry about this because it's only a pistol, and a recon site up close and personal is going to be a difficult task to deal with 3 members of the side of Vault 9.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough retake for him as he is going to drop Lebrando now, the last one alive for the defense. 25 seconds and counting down. He's got a 1v2 in front of him. I do like the wrap around. It looks like he may get the better of one of these players from Vault 9 as they're trying to split the difference. Not going to be able to, sliding into the DMs, but getting rejected for the side of Vault 9. They will take a first round and an attacking round at that. So that's really good to get on the board with exposure. You know, this map can be kind of fluky, right? Especially over towards that B site, and getting first blood is going to be oh so important as they flip the first blood script. And even though KJ got the first blood for the side of Omnia, Vault just answering with unadulterated aggression, taking full control of that B site. That was a fantastic first round from them, and a good bounce back from the hard point nonetheless.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that was a good turnaround, especially losing first blood. You always feel like, okay, you're at a disadvantage. You've got a chance that this could be a very uphill battle trying to get to that side. But they did a good job of it. They got it back in, and Vault 9 take that lead. Raf as well. He's currently on a free streak as well. We'll want to keep that going, hard as it is to build streaks in the Search and Destroy. At least start somewhere like that, a free in the first round. Gives you a good head start.
Yeah, it definitely is, as we're seeing a sort of a stagnant push here again. No first blood through the first 30 seconds. Everybody kind of trying to play angles. You see that on exposure quite a bit as well. Wrath going to extend that streak, now 4 in a row, but KJ will put him down, now knotted up at 3 apiece. And we're seeing this typical offensive formula, right? The first blood goes in, bomb immediately gets pushed over towards B and is going to get thrown down. Now a 3v3 retake opportunity for Vault. Let's see how they try to attack this defense.
Interesting thing on that minimap, right? It's not K, sorry, it's KJ who was in the back, right? He's went and stayed there for so long. He finds Terminator, Lebrando finds Sephi. All of a sudden, KJ is found out by Sam, but he's on his own in a 1 versus 2. Kez and Lebrando up towards that B site. Going to get the information with that stun as well, so that's going to get them a little bit more time to work with here. If you're Omnia, and it looks like this could be around on the board here for Omnia. 12 more seconds. Roundabout the dance over the wall with a jump. Kill goes the favor of Shinto Gaming Club. Wait a minute, it's Omnia Gaming.
Yeah, see,
names.
right there, that little jump around the wall. That's why I can't compete anymore, because what Kez just did right there is going to put me in an absolute blender. I'm a low sensitivity warlock in Call of Duty, okay? So you jump around a corner like that, I'm done. And we see it so much, right? Obviously, with this new wall jump mechanic introduced in Black Ops 7, we see players utilize it so well. Prime example there from Kez, as they're going to take that offensive round for the side of Omnia. All knotted up at 1 apiece now, as we are potentially maybe going to see an A push here for the offensive side, and I like it. I like how open A side is. It can get crazy.
Yeah, let's see where we go from here. You're going to have Besmo looking over from the top here in top P3. I'm sure that's in top anyway through the window. That nade is going to be trying to get information potentially as well, but he knows he's there. If you're Shane, they have that opportunity to at least kind of re-wrap towards B, but you know what? Omnia's going to have so much map control here now because they've already pushed through B and they've got the player still watching over A. A difficult task for Vault 9 to try and think of where they're going to go from here. They need a first blood and they find it on towards KJ.
Yeah, it was a great first blood. Sethi coming in huge there as the trade from Lebrando. I like how you highlighted the defensive setup from Omnia, right? They had already pushed to that midpoint and they were sort of forming a defensive phalanx around that A site. So as soon as you cross that mid-map area, you're going to get sniffed out. And we're seeing Omnia now on a blood hunt. Besmo back in the spawn, trying to find players. We'll find one. He's got one more to his left. A trade comes in the meanwhile from CN. Now a 2v2. Besmo very wisely playing his life. Not going to be able to check his back. And another trade coming in, though. Now a 1v1. Sethi versus Besmo. They're chasing, trying to find each other, and Besmo will take it out. That's a huge defensive win from Omnia.
Yeah, I see. But even though we see the X-ray, I don't know if I'd have won that gunfight in his position. I would have seen that little pixel on my right-hand side peripheral. Probably not Besmo, though. He had all full sight of that Sethi. Unaware Besmo's to his right. And it's an easy pick up on there. Now, we'll be happy with their defensive structure there in that one. Give themselves a chance. Getting that lead now to take the attack. Do they decide? Right, we know. They tried to go towards that A site. It did not work for them. do we continue with that B push?
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to end up finding. And I think the A push might have worked if you were just a little bit more aggressive with it, right? I mean, we saw them kind of stalemate over towards the middle of the map trying to play for a first pick, but not going to be able to make anything happen with it. Sethi on your screen, going to get absolutely bombarded by a 4-man push from Omnia. Very wise to back up, but KJ going to get the better of Wrath, now taking the first blood in favor of Omnia. They've got all the the pressure on their side over towards this B map, and look at the defensive position now from Vault as they're trying to play their lives.
Yeah, all playing around the bomb site there, but Kez finds one. Now the wall jump again. He finds Sefi. There's a second, and now it's Terminated to find one back. He's found two as well, and all of a sudden he's still got a chance, but he's got to find the ace in this round to win it. Can Terminated do the unthinkable with the time against him as well? B-bomb has been planted. Omnia fully in control so far, but Terminated could find two, could potentially find another two. Doesn't have the time though, that's the question.
Yeah, would be a 1v4 ace here with the bomb down. He needs this really badly. He's getting tagged up though, very wisely backing up. Gonna try and play the trade, but not going to be able to do it. Omnia now taking 2 rounds in a row, both a defense and an offense. I believe that's actually 3 rounds in a row. Offense, defense, offense for Omnia here is they're gonna try and stretch this lead and potentially try and put this S&D to bed here very early for the side of Omnia.
Yeah, definitely. If they can keep the spray going in a row, this is looking good for Omnia for sure. They are a very much well-drilled side. They played well together off each other. Besmo's on a 3 streak. You got KJ on a 2 streak so far. But I wouldn't write Vault 9 off yet. We've seen them win a round early on to start with. See this time as they go back to that preferred B side or their push. One player down through mid. Trying to give them some information over that A side to spot him. But KJ has already spotted players the other side of Solar. I have no idea how he spotted that, but he has seen a tiny little pixel and has an idea that Vault 9 are on the other side.
Yeah, definitely a good player to watch here with KJ being the prime defensive information getter for the side of Omnia. He somehow, I believe, saw Wrath on top of that solar panel yet again. Some shots going in, just scaring the members of Vault 9 here as Terminated and company are trying to get into an offensive position. You now have player number 1, Sethi. He's rotated over and now going to help, but look at player number 6, Kez. He may be able to hit a flank here, but player number 1, Sethi, is going to be trying to watch it. Maybe potentially a huge flank here coming in from the side of Omnia as they may try to start this retake a little early. Not going to be able to do it. Sethi, you mad lad. He took 2 in a row. Look at the trigger discipline from Besmo here. Oh no, he ruined it! No!
Besmo, he was standing. I was like, why is he not doing anything? He's just waiting his time. He knows he's got 3 players to deal with, right? You pulled the trigger straight away. I guess that's you pretty much figured out already with too many players around you, but trigger discipline was a little bit too long in the thinking. He could have found Shane and then potentially turned on to Sefi, but it's a little bit too late, and the round will go to Vault 9. But what that Besmo flank around the back could have been perfect, but it was well read.
Yeah, it was. Indeed. I mean, Besmo, I like the trigger discipline there. Unfortunately, just getting some unfortunate timing with him jumping on top of the solar panels there. So solid attempt from the side of Omnia, but really the MVP there was Sethi being able to sniff out that flank and steal 2 as Vault 9 going to take a much needed round. Now back on the offensive is Omnia, and they've already put 2 players from Vault 9 down, and they have this full B site open.
Yeah, 2 players in the grave already early on, and you've got the other 2 players the other side of the map going through the A side and looking for a full wraparound. But Besmo, he's sat back looking around towards safety. Going to hope that he is the last player to worry about. He's going to find the players down mid. That's going to be Terminated. He's going to have Raph right, and he's going to challenge him down to attack. He wins that gunfight. His teammate wins the next one. Omnia take the round, and they go 2 rounds up again.
Yeah, it's a fantastic win from Omnia. Good answer back, right? I mean, if you're Vault 9, you need to try and string some rounds together here and not able to do it on behalf of the overwhelming slaying put out from Omnia, right? I mean, we saw 2 first bloods in the first 20 seconds of that round. You're not going to be able to win very many rounds of S&D if you immediately are playing at a 4v2 disadvantage. So great job from Omnia bouncing back on that offense. And now back on the defense here. By the way, we've only seen Vault 9 win offensive rounds, so you're really going to want to see them start here and string together a defense if they can. Once again, this bomb going over towards this A site. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, S&D very much like a game of tennis. You have to break serve, right? If you can't do that, you're never going to win. Troy, and that is just how it seems to be going. You've already seen Omnia do it. They've got that 2-round lead, and now they are managing to push and get so much map control. They've pushed out the whole B side. They've still got the players watching the back spawn towards that A side as well. So if it is Raph with a scope in hand at the back, he's got a chance though, but he pulls the trigger a second too late and gives away his position and has to back down.
Yeah. Oh my God! Wrath, are you kidding me? Missing the scoped in shot, sliding in with a no scope. That is a highlight play. You will see that on Twitter, I believe. Wow, Wrath, what a crazy kill. And now a 3v3. Bombs going down. Omnia needs to try and retake from A.
Yeah, definitely. What a way to turn it around a little bit. Just go for the no scope. Who needs to zoom in? Whatever. Just do that the way it is. The bomb, though, still yet to be like gone towards here. If you're on there, right? The bomb is down. They're looking for that here on the A side, but Raf's looking for the scope. Can't see KJ. He takes off his head, and now the challenge comes in from Omnia. All 4 dead, and time on the clock. A bomb site will be defused. And guess what's map point? Omnia.
Yep, map point indeed. And after the no scope from Wrath, you've got to be kidding me. Omnia said, I don't care about your no scope. We're going to take the round anyways. 2-5 in favor of Omnia. One more, like you said, map point, and to put them up 2-0 in the series. Just a small tidbit of information earlier yesterday. I believe that Omnia went 3-2 in their group play, and Vault 9 were 1-4. So a bit of a David versus Goliath match here, but Vault 9 definitely not out of it yet. To quote Tantrums earlier, right? You can't start a 5-2 comeback without it being 5-2 first. So we'll see if they can string together and get their first defensive round win here as their backs are against the wall.
Yep, has to be perfect from here on out now as well. Because Omnia, don't matter how they've been doing fantastic work so far. They find the first blood in this round as well, and this could be the chance to get that A site down. Sephi is going to spot the bomb carrier, but guess what? Because he's shot, KJ knows he's there, and he takes him down as well. Continues his spree of 5, and now Besmo, he's going to get that bomb well and truly planted. They're going to be able to back off and in a 4v2 situation to take the map.
Yep, 2v4 retake for the side of Vault 9. Pretty much a very tall order. Cien trying to get the first one. Not going to be able to. Did KJ get both of those kills?
I think he did. I don't even know how, but he did.
Oh,
sure
that's
gross. It was 12-4.
That's gross. Wow, KJ saying anything you can do, I can do better. Try this slide. What a final game kill cam for the side of KJ, and on the backs of a triple positive performance. 1,300 damage, KJ, in a league of his own in this S&D.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. That is a round and a half from Omnia. What a way to go and do it. And yeah, you were right in saying they're very good search and destroy side Shifty. Well said. Well planned beforehand. It's like you're gonna write the script already for them.
Yeah, don't get that rumor started. People are gonna be blaming me for the outcomes of these games. Yeah, we saw Omnia last night, right? And they were a solid S&D team. I mean, just a solid all-around squad. Besmal 6-3, KJ 12-4. Everybody positive for the side of Omnia minus Kez. So, I mean, you can't ask for much more. I mean, a 6-2 throttling is exactly what you want after what was really, if we look at it, a fairly close hard point, right? So, I mean, really, you've kind of distanced yourself here. And now map 3, obviously going into the overload. I think the wind is at Omnia's back, right? They are full sail, full steam ahead. And if you're Vault 9, if you got to do the reverse sweep, it's got to start with map number 3. So, you got to win this here.
Yep, the only way back is winning the overload for sure, and it's going to be a difficult task. We've seen the slaying power that comes with Omnia. We've seen the individual skills here of KJ just doing absolute work in both maps, right? You're going to have to shut him down in overload if you're wanting any chance of winning this map, right? Because as much as kills not matter as much, but position on this map. So if you're getting the kills and you're pushing through, there's that chance for you to get up and get that EMP detonated and set yourself that score. So it could be a quick run through here from Omnia, or we could see it turn on its head. But we're going to go to a short intermission just now, and we'll be back for game number 3. We're going back to Scar for the Overload.
Oh, hello. Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are map number 3. This is Overload on Scar. I am Shifty here, joined by Mark, as we're seeing an immediate 2-piece, trying to make it 3 on your screen. How we doing? Map number 3, getting off to a hot start.
Kez has got rollerblades on or something. He is flying on the mass 4 in a row, and guess what? The detonation comes in from Bezmo as well. This is a start and a half from Omnia, but 4 dead instantly answer back here from Vault 9. But Kez, he was sliding and gliding around that map to kick us off. You get the early detonation, which you don't see very often on Scar here. This is normally a slow builder towards the first one, but after that, it normally starts to open up a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say that earlier before we went to a break, that I've found that Scar is probably one of the more evenly matched maps in terms of favored side and bad side. So if there is one that you can try and take for Vault 9, I think this might be the map. But Omnia off to a hot start. Obviously, that detonation device going to be tried to rotate out for the side of Wrath, as he's now trying to save it from their spawn, and will do so in kind, is now trying to push up towards the middle map area. He has absolutely 0 teammates to help him, though, as now 8 and 5, that is going to be Cien and Sethi now trying to bring up the rear and trying to help defend. 2 will go down in favor of Vault 9. Now 2 trades back off, make it 3 in favor of Omnia, and that bomb is going to be stopped immediately.
I like that from Omnia. They knew where the device carrier is, right? They don't have to worry about killing him. They're killing everybody else around it and making a path open for them as they slide on again to find that EMP uploaded. It's already 2-0 for Omnia, and they are well and truly figuring out how to play this game. Look at the split in the position on the map as well. They were able to shut down the players on that new overload system. Now they're able to push up and wait, but I think he got a bit too overeager, and Sefi finds 2 of them.
Yeah, I like the passive play here from Besmol, right? Obviously, they know that you need to have the numbers advantage before you try and take that EMP towards the site. KJ and Kez going to help. Now Besmol takes a third. They just have 1 player in top green. That's terminated. He may be your line of defense here, though, as the EMP is going to get pushed forward. It will get dropped for the moment. Nice counter kills from the side of Vault back in their spawn. They need to try and get a little aggressive here, but the slaying power from Omnia has just been too strong. They have forced to be back in their base the entirety of this game so far.
Yeah, they need to push player number 7 and 5 off if they can. That is going to be Sefi and terminated, but it feels like it is going to be Vault 9 able to get that reset. It's still going to go back towards that motel side where Omnia are already waiting, ready for the device to reset themselves at 2-0 up in the first half, with still 2 minutes to go. Still a chance to close out the half before the time is up as well, because once you hit 4, that's it, done for the round. If they can do it, that is looking likely, but they need a good few kills going their way once again. If you're Omnia, you find 1, so you get traded back and forward, and you have to be sitting, waiting around that gen just to try and get yourself back in.
Yeah, I really like the passive play at times from Omnia, not trying to get too aggressive, as Besmol was almost there. I mean, so close to putting in that third overload, as terminated going to be the savior of the Vault 9 squad. Now Cien has carried this bomb all the way across the map. He may be in a prime position to try and score over on B. Needs some help from his teammates. Not going to be able to get it. He does have 1 more player with him, though. I believe that was Wrath, but unfortunately not able to do anything, as that aggressive push from Vault 9 gets shut down. And this is the tail of the tape for Overload, right? You get into the base. If you can't slay out, just like that, you're back on the back foot, back on the defensive. But speaking of that, look at the slaying numbers from Omnia. That's where the defensive is coming in. 16 and 9 for the side of Kez, as he's trying to go 1 step beyond. KJ now 11 and 11. Everybody from Omnia, minus KJ now, in the positive.
Yeah, definitely need to figure out what's happening here and shut down Kez a little bit more. He does get the detonation in as well, and that's 3-0 up with a 38 seconds to go back. Vault 9's not going to find multiples to tie this up at all, but they're going to have to try and see if they can get at least 1 on the board. You don't want to be going down 3-0 into the half with all the uphill battle to go and fight through. You can see them pushing up the map, though, as Omnia is going to try and get dominance once again and potentially close this out for the 4th upload if they can. That gunfight's going to be
Oh, it's
crucial. The
going.
chance to push on through. That's it. It's going to be gone. Surely done. Stop short, but there's a player to follow up. That's going to be done half time, just before time ends. Always seems to be just before time ends as well. Always.
What a push. What a push there from Omnia, right? I mean, Lebrando taking 3 kills in a row. Of course, this is the best play. You'll see it right here. 17-9. He went on a tear at the end of this round, and that is a really tough spot for Vault 9 to be in, right? I mean, you have to try and be aggressive, but you got to slay him out of your base before you can get aggressive, and the slaying overwhelming from the side of Omnia. There really wasn't a lot they could do.
See, that's the thing, like, you get the kills early before you start making that push. You know where they're going to be spawning if you're on one side of the map. You know they're going to be the opposite EMP spawn, right? That is so easy to raid, hence the reason he was able to just go, right, I know where I'm going to be aiming, I'm going to be pre-aiming their spawn, and guess what? They all line up for him. Brando goes on a 6 spray, and now he's continuing that into that second half. They'll be hoping to find more first blood going to KJ as well as they try to open up that middle map and try and get a few kills onto that Vault 9 side, who have got the EMP device, but they are going to be pinched inside. And there you go, Store shuts them down. 3 dead, makes that 4 dead, and Vault 9 have to go back to their spawn.
Yeah, I mean, another counter push there from Omnia. You saw Vault 9 get a little bit aggressive and towards their spawn, but just not enough slaying power from the side of Vault 9 to break in and score that EMP. What a shot from Besmo. Holy cow, that shot is a lot more difficult than it seems with a pistol, no less. Him and KJ now running amok in the spawn, so close to putting that in, and KJ will finish it off. We are seeing a 5-0 stomping from Omnia right now.
Yeah, this is if it wasn't already a difficult task after halftime, it's got harder and harder. Lebrando's still playing it around here, still staying alive, double positive almost as well. And look at the position on the map. Another relay is done. It's 6-0 up. There's still 3 minutes and 48 seconds. This is going to be done surely before the time is out if they keep up at this pace. But that is a few wipe, and they're going to be back in the spawn. Lebrando just sitting back, patiently waiting over towards that A side. Whether he's just watching the angles, making sure nobody is trying to make a right around, and he does find the kills he needs as well here on that side.
Yeah, that was a good play by him, right? Obviously, they had that's solid communication. They knew that somebody from Vault 9 was going to try and sneak into their spawn, and he will shut it down. Kez and KJ. KJ with the streaks. He's going to team kill and try to shoot right into the spawn. Not going to be able to take another, as that EMP will stagnate over towards the right side of your mini map, as now the players from Vault 9 going to try and converge to get that stopped. Now it has respawned up. We wait. Now it goes back across the map. And Omnia is still in the spawn of Vault 9, though. I mean, if you're Vault 9, you almost have to focus on slaying out and trying to clear your spawn out. But with how little time you have left, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Here before too long, it's going to get mathematically impossible.
Yeah, exactly. There's not going to be enough time on the clock to get 6 soon enough if it keeps going the way that it's going. And Vault 9 can't get control of this map. So far, Kess, look at this. Doesn't care if he's got a pistol in hand or not. He's on a 6 play of his own as well. He almost makes a 7, but Raph turns, finds one, finds a second, then gets shut down from Lebrando. But they've pushed up so far that it does mean the Vault 9's got further to travel with the EMP device, which is also easier for Omnia to get set up in that defensive setup ready for their push, as they have to try to make the push work. But Kez, he's went around the back, he's found 2 once again, and all of a sudden it is going to be 4 dead in the feed.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play from Kez there, right? I mean, I was watching the mini-map as that was going on. It looked like Vault 9 had an opportunity to have a 3v2 gunfight over towards the Bravo site, but Kez swinging around from behind and immediately putting the numbers back in favor of Omnia, as now the defense will stand for Vault 9. That is the first 4 dead, I think, that we've seen from them this whole game. Now they're going to try and utilize this time to bring that EMP back to middle map, but a minute and a half left. I mean, you're running out of time here.
Yeah, if they get one, though, it might well be a consolation. But guess what? Because the 4 all spawn in the same spot at the same time, almost instantaneously, they get a 4 dead of their own. And Omnia managed to creep out of that EMP and start to push it down the motel side. They're heading towards that B site. If they can get there, it's going to be making it 7 now, and very much unpassable. Probably unpassable already at 6 now, to be fair. But Vault 9 do need to find kills and do need to find the speed as quickly as you possibly can at this point. Otherwise, game is done. They're out of the competition. They will be leaving Vegas unhappy. Maybe just have to hit the casinos.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got to try and get your get back after a game like this for sure. 6-0 in favor of Omnia. This has been a thorough throttling. Is now at this point, I mean, it is all but over. If Omnia wants to put one in, it's just be to add insult to injury, just to rub a little salt in the wound. 35 seconds and counting down now as Omnia, I mean, probably pretty content with just holding the EMP, but it looks like they're going to try and break into B one more time. Defense from Vault 9 going to stand tall for a moment as, I mean, pretty much this is all over. You've got Omnia. They're going to move on in a 3-0 fashion, and really one of the most handy beatdowns in Overload that I have seen so far.
Yeah, definitely a big beating. A 6-0 beating at that. 8 more seconds. Probably no more done. But more kills to be added here to Lebrando. With now a chance. Maybe KJ can get that 30 mark as well. No, he can't. Time will be up. But Omnia, ladies and gentlemen, progress in this losers bracket. They are pretty much well and truly shifted a 6-0 easy dub in that Overload. Pretty much the whole maps, every single thing seemed pretty smooth for them as they progress into losers round 2. Who they play, we will get to find out. It'll be between Omnia and Victor, obviously are out. It's going to be either Shinto Gaming Club, who we've seen previously in Game 1, or it will be Endeavour. So we'll see that soon enough to see who they'll be facing in that next round. But you said it, Omnia were a good side in Search and Destroy. They were an even better side in Overload.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that kind of throttles me, right? Given how, I mean, obviously, Hardpoint is a tried and true game mode, right? Everybody knows how to play Hardpoint. So even teams that, may not be as slaying heavy may be able to work their way into a Hardpoint and kind of make it a little bit closer than you would have expected. But after, I mean, again, 250 to 165 is not great, but it's not an outright beatdown, right? So, I mean, I would have expected something a little bit closer than 6-0 in the Overload, but a fantastic job from the side of Omnia. They will move on again to losers round 2 and in illustrious fashion, to say the least. On the backs of a 34-20 game from Kez, he's got to be, him or KJ got to be the series MVP from Omnia.
Yeah, the last 2 rounds for the Search and Destroy, 12-4, you went Kez, you had 34 and what was it, 19 did you say there in the Overload, and then KJ with a 31 and 23 in map 1. Definitely between the two of them, solid performance, no doubt. The whole team pretty much were frying at times as well and going on sprays. But I'd say definitely Kez was probably the standout player at times there, finding the kills, even the detonations as well in the Overload, doing the work and the heavy work. But we're going to send it to a short intermission. We will get an interview with you with surely an Omnia player as well with Tantrums in just a moment.